Most men get chocolates for Valentine's Day. I got a text that read, "Flying to Miami to meet my online boyfriend. Don't freak out, I'll be back for dinner." My name is Nick Carter, and I'm a 35-year-old freelance engineer living in the Boston suburbs. Until that February morning, I thought I had the perfect life. Perfect house, perfect job, and what I believed was the perfect fiancée named Erica Miles. Erica worked as a digital marketing executive downtown. 32 years old, blonde hair always perfectly styled, and a smile that could sell ice to Eskimos. She was the type of woman who made other men jealous and other women suspicious. I should have paid more attention to that second part. The text came at 7:42 a.m. on February 13th while I was drinking coffee and reviewing blueprints for a client's kitchen renovation. I read it 3 times before the words actually registered in my brain. "What?" I texted back, my fingers shaking slightly as I typed. No response. I called her immediately, straight to voicemail. Her cheerful voice chirped, "Hi, you've reached Erica. Leave me a message and I'll get back to you when I can." When she could? When she wasn't busy screwing some random guy she met online? I sat there staring at my phone, waiting for the punchline. Maybe this was some elaborate Valentine's Day joke. Maybe she'd burst through the door laughing, telling me how she got me good. But the minutes ticked by, and reality started sinking in like ice water in my veins. The signs had been there for months, I realized. Late nights, working on campaigns, constantly checking her phone and hiding the screen when I walked by. The way she'd started saying she needed space whenever I tried to plan anything romantic. 3 weeks ago, I'd overheard her at girls' night with her best friend Jenna. They were both drunk on wine, sitting in our living room while I was supposedly asleep upstairs. "There are so many men in the world, Erica," Jenna had slurred. "You're only 32. Are you really going to settle down with the first decent guy you find?" "Nick is sweet," Erica had replied, "but sometimes I wonder what else is out there, you know?" At the time, I'd convinced myself it was just drunk talk. Women say stupid things when they're hammered, right? Now those words felt like a knife twisting in my gut. I decided to do some investigating. Call it CSI, Suburbia. Erica kept her old purses in the closet, and I'd noticed her digging through one last week, looking frustrated. I found it on the top shelf, a black leather bag she'd stopped using months ago. Inside, tucked into a side pocket, was a phone I'd never seen before. A burner phone. My hands were actually trembling as I powered it on. The message history made me want to throw up and commit murder at the same time. Hundreds of texts between Erica and someone named Bryce. The messages started innocent enough, compliments about her Instagram photos, discussions about fitness and travel, but they quickly escalated into territory that made my stomach churn. Bryce, "Can't wait to get my hands on you in person." Erica, "I keep thinking about what you said you'd do to me." Bryce, "Your boyfriend doesn't know what he's got. I'll show you what you've been missing." Erica, "He's sweet but boring. You make me feel alive." There were photos. I won't describe them in detail, but let's just say Erica had been very generous with her camera work. The timestamps showed this had been going on for 4 months. 4 months of lies. 4 months of her kissing me goodnight while sexting another man. 4 months of planning our wedding while planning to cheat on me. When I confronted her 2 weeks ago, she'd laughed it off. "It's just online flirting, Nick. Everyone does it. It doesn't mean anything." Everyone does not do this, Erica, and it means everything to me. She'd rolled her eyes. "You're being dramatic. It's not like I'm actually cheating." Well, apparently that was about to change. I spent the rest of that morning in a daze, mechanically going through my routine while my brain processed this betrayal. I kept checking my phone, hoping for an explanation, an apology, anything that would make this make sense. Instead, I got another text at 11:15 a.m. "Boarding now. Can't wait to meet you IRL. This is going to be amazing. Except this text wasn't sent to Bryce, it was sent to me. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. She'd mixed up her contacts in her excitement to cheat on me. I stared at those words for a long time. Then I started laughing. Not happy laughter. The kind of bitter, angry laughter that comes right before you do something that will either be brilliant or completely insane. I typed back, "What?" Then I opened my laptop and logged into our joint bank account. I could have sent her roses for Valentine's Day. Instead, I sent her a canceled credit card. By noon, I was parked outside Terminal B at Logan Airport, watching through the floor-to-ceiling windows as Erica stood in the security line. She was practically bouncing with excitement, checking her phone every few seconds and grinning like a teenager. She looked beautiful. That was the most infuriating part. Her blonde hair was perfectly curled. She was wearing the red dress I'd bought her for Christmas, and she had that glow that women get when they're about to do something they think is exciting and rebellious. I sat in my car with my laptop open, systematically destroying her ability to fund this little adventure. First, I canceled both of her credit cards, the joint account ones that I was legally authorized to cancel. Then I called the bank and froze our joint checking account, citing suspicious activity. Technically true, since I found her behavior very suspicious. Next, I logged into her airline account using the password she'd never bothered to change, our anniversary date, which felt like another slap in the face, and canceled her return flight. My phone buzzed with a text from Raj, my best friend and IT consultant. "Dude, where are you? We're supposed to grab lunch." I texted back, "Rain check. Currently watching my fiancée try to fly to Miami to cheat on me. About to strand her at the airport with no money." "What? Are you serious?" "Dead serious. Want to watch the show?" 20 minutes later, Raj was in my passenger seat with a bag of popcorn and his phone ready to record. "This is either the most brilliant revenge I've ever seen, or you're about to get arrested," he said. "Probably both." We watched Erica clear security and head toward her gate. She stopped at a Starbucks, probably wanting to grab a coffee before her big romantic adventure. I watched her hand over her credit card, then saw her face change as the cashier shook his head. She tried the second card. Same result. Even from a distance, I could see her starting to panic. She pulled out her phone, probably trying to check her bank balance. I imagined her face as she saw the frozen account notice. "Oh shit," Raj muttered. "She's freaking out." Erica was indeed freaking out. She was gesturing wildly at the cashier, who clearly wanted nothing to do with her drama. Other customers were starting to stare. My phone rang. Unknown number. "That's probably her," I told Raj. "Airport payphone." I answered. "Hello?" "Nick!" Erica's voice was high and panicked. "Something's wrong with my cards. They're not working and I can't access our account and my flight." "Let me guess," I interrupted. "You're stranded at the airport with no money?" Silence. "How did you—" "Because I canceled everything, Erica. Your cards, our joint account, your return flight, everything." More silence. Then, "You can't do that. That's my money too." "Actually, I can do that. The cards are in my name, with you as an authorized user. The account is joint, which means either of us can freeze it. And your return flight was paid for with my credit card, so I absolutely can cancel it." I put the phone on speaker so Raj could hear. "Nick, please," she was crying now. "I can explain everything. This isn't what you think." "Really? Because I think you texted me by mistake this morning, telling me how excited you are to meet your online boyfriend in person. I think you've been planning this for weeks. I think you've been lying to my face for months while sexting some fitness influencer named Bryce." Raj's eyes went wide. He started typing furiously on his phone. "How do you know about—" "The burner phone, Erica. In your old purse. I found it. I read everything." She was sobbing now. "Nick, I'm sorry. I know how this looks. But I love you. I was just confused and save it. You made your choice. You chose Bryce. You chose to lie to me. You chose to book a flight to cheat on me on Valentine's Day. So now you get to live with the consequences. But I'm stuck here. I don't have any money. How am I supposed to get home? I don't know, Erica. Maybe Bryce can wire you some cash. Or maybe you can call Jenna, since she's the one who's been encouraging this whole thing. Jenna didn't... I heard you two talking 3 weeks ago about how there are so many men in the world and how I'm just the first decent guy you settled for. So go explore those options. Just don't expect me to fund the expedition. Through the airport windows, I could see security approaching her. Apparently, crying hysterically at a payphone while other travelers complained was drawing unwanted attention. Nick, please don't do this. I made a mistake, but we can work through this. We're supposed to get married. We're supposed to get married, past tense. Consider this your official notice that the engagement is off. I hung up. Raj was staring at me with a mixture of admiration and terror. Holy shit, man! You actually did it! You left her stranded at the airport. She left herself stranded when she decided to cheat on me. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. This is Jenna. Erica is hysterical. She says you canceled her cards and left her at the airport. What the hell is wrong with you? I showed the text to Raj. He grinned. Want me to handle this one? Go for it. Raj took my phone and typed, Hi, Jenna. This is Nick. Nothing's wrong with me. What's wrong is that Erica has been cheating on me for 4 months with some guy named Bryce, and today she flew to Miami to sleep with him. Maybe ask your friend why she thought that was a good idea before you come after me. The response came quickly. She said it was just online flirting. Raj typed back, check her Instagram. Bryce just posted a selfie with her at Miami International. Guess she made it after all. We waited. 5 minutes later, Jenna texted, Oh my God. I had no idea she actually went through with it. Nick, I'm so sorry. Too little. Too late. I muttered. But Raj was right. I pulled up Instagram and searched for Bryce's account. Sure enough, there was a fresh post from 2 hours ago. A selfie of him with his arm around Erica at what was clearly Miami Airport. She was smiling, but it looked forced. The caption read, Finally meeting my girl in person. Valentine's weekend is going to be epic. Long distance. Worth, the wait, Miami. So she'd made it to Miami somehow, probably called Jenna for money, or maybe Bryce had wired her cash. Either way, my plan hadn't completely worked, but I wasn't done yet. If Erica wanted to make our private business public by posting photos with her lover, then I was happy to oblige. I spent the rest of Valentine's Day crafting my response. Not an angry rant, those always make the poster look unhinged. Instead, I went for surgical precision. First, I screenshot Bryce's Instagram post with Erica. Then I screenshot the text she'd accidentally sent me that morning. Finally, I grabbed a few choice messages from the burner phone, making sure to blur out anything too graphic. I posted everything to Reddit's relationship advice forum with the title, My 35M Fiancée, 32F, accidentally texted me instead of her affair partner. AITA for canceling her credit cards and leaving her stranded at the airport. The post went viral within hours. Thousands of comments, mostly supportive, with a few people calling me petty. But the overwhelming consensus was that Erica had gotten what she deserved. That felt good, but I wasn't finished. I created a Twitter account and posted the same screenshots, tagging Erica's company. Congratulations, R Marketing Plus Boston, on your employees' romantic Valentine's getaway. Erica Miles Marketing is really representing your brand well. Valentine's Day, das Professionalism. Within an hour, I had a DM from someone claiming to be Bryce's ex-girlfriend. OMG, is this the same Bryce Thompson from Miami? Fitness influencer with the tribal tattoo? If so, you need to know he's a total scammer. He's done this to like 6 women I know of. Makes them think they're special, gets them to visit him, then ghosts them after he gets what he wants. I have screenshots if you want them. Oh, I definitely wanted them. Her name was Maria, and she sent me a treasure trove of evidence. Screenshots of Bryce using the exact same lines on multiple women, photos of him with different girlfriends at the same Miami locations, even a recording of a voicemail where he accidentally called her by another woman's name. But the best part was a group chat Maria had started with Bryce's other victims. There were 7 women total, all sharing their stories of how he'd manipulated them. Some had flown out to meet him, others had sent money, and one had even quit her job because he'd promised to support her while she pursued her dreams. I forwarded everything to Erica. My phone rang immediately. "Nick, where did you get these? Does it matter? The question is, how does it feel to know you're just another notch on Bryce's bedpost? Another sucker who fell for his routine? These could be fake. People make up stuff online all the time. 7 different women, Erica. 7. With photos and dates going back 3 years. You really think they all got together to create an elaborate hoax just to mess with you?" Silence. "He told me I was special," she whispered. "He told all of them they were special. He used the same lines on you that he used on Maria and Jessica and Amanda and all the rest. You threw away our relationship for a guy who's probably already planning how to ditch you." "I don't believe you." "Then ask him about Maria. Ask him about the woman he was with last month in the exact same hotel where you're staying. Ask him why he hasn't posted any more photos with you since that airport selfie." She hung up. But I wasn't done with Bryce either. I spent the evening researching him online. Turns out Miami fitness influencers aren't that hard to track down when they post their location constantly. I found his gym, his apartment complex, even his favorite restaurants. More importantly, I found his car. A bright red Camaro that he loved to post photos with, parked in the same spot at his apartment complex in multiple Instagram stories. I booked a red-eye flight to Miami. Nothing says revenge like a red-eye flight to the land of spray tans and broken dreams. I landed in Miami at 6 a.m. on February 15th, rented a car, and drove straight to Bryce's apartment complex. The red Camaro was exactly where I expected it to be, gleaming in the Florida sunshine like a beacon of douchebaggery. I'd stopped at a grocery store and bought everything I needed: a dozen eggs, a bag of flour, a bottle of honey, and the pièce de résistance, a bag of frozen shrimp that I'd let thaw in the rental car for 3 hours. The beauty of Miami in February is that it's hot enough to make organic matter very unpleasant, very quickly. I waited until the parking lot was empty, then went to work. First, I cracked all 12 eggs and poured them through the slightly open sunroof, making sure to get the seats, dashboard, and floor mats thoroughly coated. Then I added the flour, which mixed with the eggs to create a cement-like paste. The honey came next, ensuring that everything would stick together permanently. Finally, I scattered the now rotten shrimp throughout the interior and closed the sunroof. By the time Bryce discovered this little surprise, his car would smell like a seafood restaurant's dumpster in August. But I wasn't finished with him yet. I'd done my research on Bryce's routine. Every morning at 8 a.m., he went to Muscle Beach Gym for his workout, which he always live-streamed to his followers. Today was going to be a very special live stream. I got to the gym at 7:45 and positioned myself where I could see the parking lot. At exactly 8:03, a red Camaro pulled up, but something was wrong. The windows were all down, and I could hear Bryce screaming obscenities from 50 feet away. He parked and got out of the car, gagging and cursing. His pristine workout clothes were splattered with egg and flour, and the smell was already attracting flies. "What the hell?" he shouted to no one in particular. "Who did this to my car?" I walked over casually. "Rough morning?" He spun around, and I got my first good look at the man who'd stolen my fiancée. He was exactly what I'd expected. Artificially tan, overly muscled, with the kind of tribal tattoo that screamed, "I peaked in high school." "Do you know who did this?" he demanded. "Actually, I do. It was me." He blinked, clearly not processing what I'd said. "What?" I said it was me. I'm Nick Carter, Erica's fiancé. Well, ex-fiancé now, thanks to you. His face went through several expressions. Confusion, recognition, then fear. Look, man, I don't want any trouble. Too late for that, Bryce. You already caused trouble when you decided to seduce my fiancé. By now, we'd attracted an audience. Other gym members were gathering around, and someone was definitely recording with their phone. She told me you guys were broken up, Bryce said, backing away from me. Really? Is that what she told you? Because she was still wearing my engagement ring when she got on that plane yesterday, still living in our house, still planning our wedding. I didn't know, man. She said a lot of things, Bryce. But here's what I know. You've been running this same scam on women for years. Maria says hi, by the way. So does Jessica and Amanda and all the other women you've manipulated. His face went pale under the fake tan. I don't know what you're talking about. I pulled out my phone and opened the group chat Maria had shared with me. Really? Because I've got screenshots of you using the exact same pickup lines on at least 7 different women. The same promises, the same lies, even the same photos. The crowd was getting bigger now, and I could see phones recording from multiple angles. Bryce's morning live stream was about to become very different from what he'd planned. You're crazy, man. I'm calling the cops. Go ahead. But first, let me ask you something. Where's Erica right now? He looked confused. She's at the hotel. Which hotel? The Marriott on... He stopped, realizing he was giving away information. The Marriott on Biscayne Boulevard, room 412. Yeah, I know. She texted me the address last night, begging me to take her back. Apparently your romantic evening didn't go quite as planned. That was a lie, but Bryce didn't know that. She's been texting you? All night. Crying, apologizing, saying she made a huge mistake. Apparently, the reality of Bryce Thompson didn't live up to the Instagram fantasy. I could see the doubt creeping into his eyes. Good. She said you weren't as impressive as you'd led her to believe, in several different ways. The crowd was laughing now, and Bryce's face was turning red with embarrassment and anger. You're lying. Am I? Then why don't you call her right now? Ask her if she's been in contact with me. Ask her if she's having second thoughts about this whole thing. He fumbled for his phone, but I could see his hands shaking. Whether from anger or fear, I couldn't tell. Better yet, I continued, why don't you explain to all these nice people how your dating strategy works? How you target engaged women and convince them to cheat on their partners? How you use the same lines and the same techniques on multiple victims? That's not... I don't... Or maybe you'd like to explain why your car smells like a fish market? Because that's what happens when you mess with other people's lives, Bryce. Sometimes it comes back to stink up your own. By now, the crowd was openly hostile toward him. Someone shouted, "What kind of loser goes after engaged women?" And someone else yelled, "Your car smells like ass, dude." Bryce was looking around desperately, realizing that his reputation at this gym, probably his primary hunting ground, was completely destroyed. "This is harassment," he finally managed to say. "No, Bryce. Harassment is what you did to my relationship. This is just consequences." I turned to walk away, then stopped and looked back at him. "Oh, and Bryce? You might want to check your Instagram. Seems like someone leaked those screenshots of your conversations with all those different women. Your followers are having quite a discussion about your techniques." That was Raj's handiwork. While I was confronting Bryce in person, my friend was systematically destroying his online presence. I left Bryce standing in the parking lot next to his ruined car, surrounded by a crowd of people who now knew exactly what kind of person he was. Time to head home and deal with Erica. I flew back to Boston that afternoon, feeling more satisfied than I had in months. But the real work was just beginning. Erica had been calling and texting non-stop since my encounter with Bryce. I'd ignored all of it, but the messages were getting increasingly desperate. "Nick, please call me back. I made a terrible mistake. Bryce isn't who I thought he was. You were right about everything. I'm flying home tonight. Can we please talk? I love you. I know I screwed up, but we can fix this. The last message came with a photo attachment, her engagement ring, sitting on what looked like a hotel nightstand. I never took it off, the message read. Even when I was with him. That should tell you something. It told me something, all right. It told me she was a liar who was trying to rewrite history now that her affair had blown up in her face. I got home around 8 p.m. and immediately started phase 2 of my plan. First, I changed all the locks. Then I packed all of Erica's belongings into boxes and stacked them neatly on the front porch. I even covered them with a tarp in case it rained. I'm not completely heartless. Next, I called a locksmith and had him install security cameras around the house. If Erica was going to show up and cause a scene, I wanted it documented. Finally, I drafted an email to Erica's boss, Mr. Harrington. I'd met him a few times at company parties, and he'd always been a little too friendly with Erica. The kind of friendly that involved standing too close and finding excuses to touch her arm during conversations. I'd noticed he'd been texting her more frequently lately, always with offers to grab drinks and discuss her career development. Erica had laughed it off, saying he was harmless, but I'd seen the way he looked at her. Now I had an idea. I created a fake email account and sent Harrington a message. Thought you should know that your employee Erica Miles has been having an affair and posting about it on social media. Might want to check her Instagram and Twitter. Not a great look for your company's reputation. Then I sat back and waited. Erica's flight landed at 11 p.m. I tracked it online, watching as it arrived on time at Logan Airport. She'd be home within an hour, expecting to find me waiting with open arms and a willingness to forgive and forget. Instead, she was going to find her belongings on the porch and locks that her key wouldn't open. My phone started ringing at 11:47 p.m. Nick, I'm outside. Why won't my key work? Because I changed the locks. What? Why would you change the locks? Because you don't live here anymore, Erica. You made that clear when you flew to Miami to cheat on me. I made a mistake. Can't you understand that? People make mistakes. Some mistakes are bigger than others. Cheating on your fiancé with a serial manipulator on Valentine's Day is a pretty big one. I know I screwed up, but I came back. That has to count for something. I looked out the window and saw her standing on the porch, still wearing the red dress from 2 days ago, now wrinkled and stained. Her perfect hair was a mess, and her makeup was smeared from crying. She looked pathetic. You came back because Bryce turned out to be exactly what I told you he was, I said. You didn't have an attack of conscience. You just realized you'd been played. That's not true. Really? Then why did you wait until after you slept with him to start texting me apologies? Why didn't you get on a plane home the moment you realized what he was really like? Silence. You spent 2 full days in Miami with him, Erica. 2 days. You only started having regrets when you realized he was already planning to dump you. How do you know that? Because I talked to his other victims, 7 women, Erica. 7 women who all thought they were special, who all got the same lines, who all got discarded the same way. You were just number 8. She was crying now, but I felt no sympathy. She'd made her choices. I've packed all your stuff. It's on the porch. I suggest you call Jenna to come pick you up, because you're not staying here. This is my home, too. No, it's not. It's my house in my name, paid for with my money. You are welcome here as my fiancé. Since you've decided you don't want to be my fiancé anymore, that welcome is revoked. I never said I didn't want to marry you. Actions speak louder than words, Erica, and your actions said everything I needed to know. She tried the door even though she knew it wouldn't open. Then she started pounding on it. Nick, please, just let me in so we can talk. We are talking. Through the door is fine. I can't believe you're being this cruel. Cruel? I'm being cruel? You cheated on me, Erica. You planned it for weeks, you lied to my face, and you flew across the country to sleep with another man on Valentine's Day. But I'm the one being cruel? My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. This is Jenna. I'm on my way to pick up Erica. This whole situation is insane. I texted back. What's insane is that your best friend thought cheating was a good idea. Maybe you should have given her better advice. 20 minutes later, Jenna's car pulled into my driveway. I watched through the window as she and Erica loaded the boxes into her trunk, both of them shooting angry looks at my house. Good. Let them be angry. They had no right to be angry, but at least they were leaving. My phone rang one more time. This isn't over, Nick, Erica said. We're going to talk about this like adults. No, we're not. We're done talking. The only communication I want from you is through lawyers. Lawyers? You're really going to make this that ugly? I'm not making anything ugly, Erica. You already did that when you decided to cheat on me. I'm just protecting myself from any more of your decisions. I hung up and turned off my phone, but I wasn't done with her yet. The next morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls and 43 text messages. Apparently, my email to Erica's boss had worked better than I'd hoped. The messages told the story in chronological order. From Jenna. Erica's boss called her at 6 a.m. and fired her over the phone. What did you do? From Erica. You got me fired. How could you do this to me? From an unknown number. This is Mr. Harrington. I don't know who you are, but sending anonymous emails about my employees is unprofessional and potentially illegal. That last one made me laugh. Apparently, Harrington was more worried about his own reputation than Erica's employment. I decided to have a little fun with that. I called Harrington's office and asked to speak with him directly. This is Nick Carter, I said when he got on the line. I believe you got an email about my ex-fiancée last night. I don't know what game you're playing, Mr. Carter, but it's not a game, Mr. Harrington. It's damage control. You see, Erica has been posting all over social media about her affair, and your company's name is attached to her profiles. I thought you'd want to know before it became a bigger problem. That's a private matter between you and her. Is it? Because she's been using company resources to conduct this affair. Company phone, company computer, company time. I have screenshots of her sexting her lover during business hours using your Wi-Fi network. That was a bluff, but Harrington didn't know that. Even if that were true, it is true. And I'm sure your board of directors would be very interested to know that you've been texting her after hours about career development meetings over drinks, especially given your company's recent sexual harassment training. Silence. I don't know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything, Mr. Harrington. I'm stating facts. You've been inappropriate with my ex-fiancée, and she's been conducting an affair using company resources. The question is, what are you going to do about it? I already terminated her employment. Good start, but I think we both know this goes deeper than that. More silence. What do you want? I want you to stop contacting her. I want you to provide a neutral reference if anyone calls about her employment. And I want you to think very carefully about how you conduct yourself with female employees in the future. And if I don't, then I send everything I have to your board of directors, your wife, and the local newspaper. Your choice. He hung up, but I was confident he'd gotten the message. My phone rang immediately. Erica. What did you say to Harrington? I told him the truth, that you've been having an affair and he's been inappropriate with you. 2 problems, 1 solution. He was never inappropriate with me. Really? Because I have screenshots of him asking you to dinner, multiple times. Always after hours, always just the 2 of you. That's going to be a hard sell to his wife and the board. Those were legitimate business meetings. At romantic restaurants? On weekends? Come on, Erica. Even you can't believe that. She was quiet for a moment. You've destroyed my life, she finally said. No, I've revealed your life. There's a difference. You destroyed your own life when you decided to cheat on me. I just made sure there were consequences. I have no job, no place to live, no money. You have the same things you had before you met me, which is apparently what you wanted since you were so eager to explore other options. I never said I wanted to leave you. You didn't have to say it. You showed it. Every time you texted Bryce instead of me, every time you lied about working late, every time you chose him over me. I chose wrong. I know that now. Can't you forgive me? Forgiveness isn't the same as reconciliation, Erica. I might forgive you someday for my own peace of mind, but I'll never trust you again, and without trust, there's no relationship. So that's it? 4 years together and you're just throwing it all away? I'm not throwing anything away. You already threw it away when you got on that plane to Miami. She hung up. But she wasn't done fighting. That evening, I was watching TV when I heard a car door slam in my driveway. I looked out the window and saw Erica marching toward my front door, with Jenna right behind her. They'd been drinking. I could tell from the way Erica was walking, that slightly unsteady gait she got after too much wine. The doorbell rang, followed immediately by pounding. "Nick! Open this door! We need to talk!" I didn't move. "I know you're in there. Your car is in the driveway." More pounding. "Nick, this is ridiculous. You can't just ignore me forever." I turned up the volume on the TV. "Fine. If you won't let me in, I'll wait out here until you do." I looked out the window again. Erica had sat down on my front steps, with Jenna beside her. They were sharing a bottle of wine and apparently settling in for a long siege. This was actually perfect. I called the police non-emergency line. "Hi, I'd like to report a trespassing situation. My ex-fiancée is on my property and refusing to leave. She's been drinking and I'm concerned about the situation escalating." The dispatcher took my information and said they'd send someone out. While I waited for the cops, I set up my phone to record through the front window. If Erica was going to make a scene, I wanted it documented. The police arrived 20 minutes later, 2 officers in a patrol car. I watched through the window as they approached Erica and Jenna. The conversation was brief. I couldn't hear what was said, but I could see Erica gesturing angrily at my house, while the officers remained calm and professional. After about 5 minutes, one of the officers came to my door. "Mr. Carter, I'm Officer Martinez. We've asked the ladies to leave your property. They're upset, but they're cooperating. Is there anything else you need from us?" "Just documentation that this happened in case there are future incidents. We'll file a report. You might want to consider a restraining order if this continues." "I'll keep that in mind." After the police left, my phone started ringing again. I let it go to voicemail. "Nick, this is insane. You called the cops on me? On us? I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to fix things. But you're being completely unreasonable. Fine. If this is how you want to play it, then this is how we'll play it. You haven't seen the last of me." I saved the voicemail. It might come in handy later. But I was tired of playing defense. It was time to end this once and for all. I spent the rest of the evening making calls and sending emails. By morning, I had everything in place for the final confrontation. Erica wanted to make this ugly? Fine. I'd show her exactly how ugly it could get. The next day was Saturday. I knew Erica would be at Jenna's house, probably planning her next move. I also knew that Jenna's house was in a neighborhood where everyone knew everyone else's business. Perfect. I loaded my car with everything I needed and drove over to Jenna's street. I parked across from her house and started setting up. First, I assembled the banner I had made at Kinko's. "Cheaters live here," in bright red letters, 6 feet wide. Then I set up the speakers and connected them to my phone. Finally, I started playing the voicemails Erica had left me over the past few days. The ones where she admitted to the affair, begged for forgiveness, and threatened me. The neighbors started coming out of their houses immediately. Within minutes, Erica and Jenna were on the front porch, screaming at me to stop. "Nick, what are you doing? Are you insane?" I turned up the volume. "This is harassment," Jenna shouted. "No," I called back. "This is public information. Everything I'm playing is true. Erica cheated on me, lied about it, and is now trying to manipulate me into taking her back. The neighborhood deserves to know what kind of person is staying in their midst. More neighbors were gathering now, some recording with their phones. "Turn that off!" Erica screamed. "Why? Embarrassed? You weren't embarrassed when you posted photos with Bryce on Instagram. You weren't embarrassed when you texted me about your romantic getaway. Why are you embarrassed now?" She started walking toward me, but I was ready. "I wouldn't come any closer, Erica. I'm recording everything, and after your trespassing incident last night, any aggressive behavior is going to look really bad for you." She stopped, but she was shaking with rage. "You're destroying my reputation." "Your reputation was destroyed the moment you decided to cheat on me. I'm just making sure everyone knows the truth. I made one mistake. One mistake that lasted 4 months. One mistake that involved lying to me every single day. One mistake that you only regret because it didn't work out the way you planned." The crowd was getting bigger, and I could see phones recording from multiple angles. "Ladies and gentlemen," I announced, "let me tell you about Erica Miles. She's 32 years old, recently fired from her job for conducting an affair using company resources, and currently homeless because she decided to cheat on her fiancé on Valentine's Day." "Stop it!" Erica was crying now. "She flew to Miami to sleep with a man she met online, a man who turned out to be a serial manipulator with at least 7 other victims. When that didn't work out, she came crawling back, expecting forgiveness and a second chance. I said stop. But here's the thing about second chances. You have to earn them. And lying, manipulating, and trespassing isn't the way to do it." I turned off the speakers and started packing up my equipment. "Erica, you wanted everyone to know about your exciting new relationship. Mission accomplished. You wanted to explore other options. Go explore them. But leave me out of it." I got in my car and drove away, leaving her standing in the street, surrounded by neighbors who now knew exactly who she was and what she'd done. My phone started ringing before I even got home, but I didn't answer. I was done. 2 hours later, I got a text from Raj. "Dude, you're all over social media. Someone recorded your whole speech and it's going viral. Cheater exposed is trending." I checked Twitter. Sure enough, multiple videos of my confrontation with Erica were spreading rapidly, with thousands of likes and retweets. The comments were overwhelmingly supportive. "This man is a legend. She got exactly what she deserved. More men should handle cheaters like this. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." My phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello? Mr. Carter? This is Rebecca Williams from Channel 5 News. We'd like to interview you about your viral confrontation with your ex-fiancé." "No, thank you." "We could offer compensation." I said no thank you. I hung up and turned off my phone. I'd made my point. Erica's reputation was destroyed, her career was over, and her affair had blown up in her face. She'd gotten exactly what she deserved. But more importantly, I'd gotten something I hadn't expected: closure. For months, I'd been the victim in this situation, the betrayed fiancé, the man who'd been lied to and cheated on. But today, I'd taken back control. I'd shown Erica and everyone else that actions have consequences. I poured myself a drink and sat down on my couch, finally feeling at peace. My phone buzzed with one final text from Erica. "I hope you're happy. You've ruined everything." I typed back, "I didn't ruin anything. I just revealed what was already broken. The difference is, now everyone can see it." Then I blocked her number. It was over. The end. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next story. Write in the comments from which city you are watching.